Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do another video, so please like, comment, share, subscribe. From my last video I told you guys that I would be heading to Minnesota, so I am actually on my way to Minnesota, but I also did start my 34 and it was very good. I slept a lot yesterday, so yesterday I stopped at around 3, and then I went to Walmart and bought some items, and then I came back, took a shower, and yeah, so I slept yesterday, woke up this morning, made breakfast, cleaned my truck from top to bottom, and now I am here relaxing. So I do want to talk to you guys about an issue. It was a mechanical issue that I had yesterday, and well, really a maintenance issue. It was a maintenance issue that I had yesterday, and then something else that I seen today. So anyways, yesterday when I was coming to park here, by the way, I am in Iowa. So yesterday when I was coming to park at this Pilot, my air pressure kept saying that it was low. So I thought that it was something on the tractor. Now, you're going to be concerned if you are not a company driver. I'm not a company driver, so every thing that happens on my truck, I am responsible for. And when you have problems, that means you spend money, and I don't want to spend money. Okay, so it kept saying that my air pressure was really, really low. So I was like, oh my God, because not too long ago, my airline went out, and I was actually in Indiana, and oh my God, that was like the worst time ever, because I was on the side of the road and you could hear it. It was like loud. So now that it was saying that my air pressure was low, I'm like outside trying to listen for the leak, and I'm like, am I going crazy? Because I can't hear the leak. So I'm just like all over the truck, inside the truck, all over the place, and I'm like, where is this leak? It was on the airbag on the trailer. So while driving, every time I stepped on the brakes, whether at a light, to turn, wherever, it's like the air pressure was going below 100 psi down to 50, and then you have to try to build pressure. But if you keep on going, sooner or later it'll get so bad that, like, it's just easier just to get it fixed and just get it over with. But in this case, because I actually rent this trailer, they pay for their repairs. I don't. They pay for the maintenance. I just pay for the rental. So that works for me. So I was okay with that. I don't have to spend any money. So yay. And also I want to talk about something that I seen earlier, because I'm just like here in my truck chilling. I'm going to cook later and walk my dog. And then, yeah, I'm going to shower. And I'm going to sleep good tonight too, because I ain't got to leave till tomorrow till late. So that's good. But anyways, I was looking out the window and I seen a Super Ego truck, right? So of course it's going to be story time, because I want to tell my story. And he was backing into the space, and he almost knocked off another truck's mirror twice. And I'm just sitting there shaking my head. Now, I hear all the stories about Swift drivers. People are always like, oh, I don't work for Swift. Swift has the worst drivers, this, that, whatever. I don't know, because I've never really seen any Swift drivers do anything crazy. So, but Super Ego, yes. So let's get into it, okay? So about I'm gonna say about 3 years ago, I decided that I was gonna take on a job with Super Ego. I didn't, long story short, I ended up going to this fuel stop, and I met this guy. He was driving for Super Ego, and I asked him how the company was, and he was just going on and on about how much he's making money and it's so good. So I'm like, I want to get in my bag too. I mean, the numbers he was telling me he was pulling in a week, not grossing, netting, I was like, hell yeah. So I went and I applied. They immediately, it was like probably like I filled out the application on this day, and by the next day they were calling me to come to orientation. So I'm like, okay, right? Well, actually, I left Prime to try Super Ego. I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna talk about Prime too. Okay, everybody have their own experience, but we're gonna talk about Prime. So I left Prime to actually go to Super Ego. And honey, I was at Super Ego for a week, okay? and believe me, not that I wanted to go back to Prime, but I was at Super Ego for 1 week, to be exact. So I get to Super Ego, and not to mention, right? Super Ego, when you get there, there are like troops outside of drivers, troops of drivers outside, like, no, boycotting. Oh, man. Like, they're telling you the company is trash, right? But you know, I always say you gotta get your own experience. So I went to go get my own experience. I was like, I'm gonna get my own experience, okay. And so it was like probably 2 days of orientation before they take you out, well, send you out to their lot to go get a truck, which is right there at the same place where orientation is. And so when you go through orientation, I will say this, okay? They give you a paper, right? The paper has a list of fuel stations that you cannot go to because those fuel stations will not fill their trucks, okay? So, and then if they give you a load, certain loads, when you go, they'll call you and be like, hey, when you go pick up the load, say that you're running for this company, not Super Ego, because they won't give you the load. Which those are red flags. And when they were going on with, I was like, maybe them people outside is right because this don't make no sense. I have never heard of anything like that, but yes, I still kept on going because I was already there. I had already left Prime. So I get in. They give me a truck. I get in the truck, and I think when I pulled my first load, it was like towards the end of the week. So that first week, when you do lease purchase with them, they don't charge you for anything except for your fuel. That's the only thing they charge you for. They charge you for your fuel. So they charged me only for the fuel. That first load, I think it was like 2,000 something. And it was just a straight shot home because I needed to get, my things and put it on the truck. And so my first paycheck was about $2,000 because it already had fuel in the truck, and so I didn't have to put that much. I think it had like half a tank in the truck already, and so I didn't have to put that much. I went home, and that was that. Second week, not second week, sorry, that was 1 day, okay, from the last week. So now we're on to our first actual week, or our second day, or however, third day, whatever you want to say. So they give me a load, I run, right? Pay period is coming up. Usually they send you your statement, I guess. I don't know how some companies do it, but they send it to you like 2 days before so you can view it, so you kind of know what you're going to get. So they sent me the statement. And when they sent me the statement, it says that I had a deduction of $1,500. So I'm like, $1,500? What do I have a deduction for $1,500 for? And so I called the company. At this time, I had dropped the load when I actually got the statement. And I was like maybe 2 hours away from Super Ego. So I called them and they, I'm asking, like, I got a $1,500 deduction. And they're like, oh, yeah, because of fuel. And I'm like, fuel from where? And, oh, that's another thing. If you're pulling their load, they only turn their gas on when you're on a load. When you're off a load, they turn the gas card off on you. So if you ain't got no gas, you got to get a load to get some fuel. And so they turned off the fuel card. So I didn't have any fuel, but I was like 2 hours away from them, and I wasn't pulling no more loads because I wanted to know about this $1,500. And they told me that it was for fuel that was in the truck. So they were charging me $1,500 for fuel that was in the truck before I was in the truck, if that makes any sense. The fuel the half a tank that was already in there, plus whatever, the little bit of fuel that I did use that they had already deducted. And so they said to me that is the policy. And I was like, well, when I was in orientation, I didn't see that. Ain't nobody said that. So how is it a policy that you charging people for fuel that was already in the truck before they got in the truck? That's double dipping, because I'm pretty sure you already took that money back from whoever put it in there initially. You understand what I'm saying? I've never heard of anything like this in my life. And so they're like, yeah, we're going to put the papers up. So because we've been getting a lot of complaints from the drivers. Well, how about this? How about you give me my $1,500, and then next week when you put that up, or whenever you decide to put it up, then we could talk about you deducting fuel. And even if you did charge me for fuel, right? This is a truck. A half a tank of gas ain't $1,500. This is not no airplane. Like, come on, really? So I didn't want to pull no loads. I'm like, listen, I'm not pulling no loads until y'all give me my money. And so then they started talking about, oh, well, let's talk about it. I'm like, listen, I don't want to talk about nothing. They kept asking me if I'm quitting. I don't want to talk about nothing but these $1,500. I need my coins in my bank. Okay? So after going back, I didn't want to talk no more. I started emailing them because, listen, I need this on record. I don't have time. So then they come with this agreement. They try to make peace, because I told them, I said, I don't want to talk no more. I want it on email, because, listen, I need proof of everything that you guys are saying. All right? So then they come with this deal, and they like, we'll put $1,000 in your account, and then over time we'll take the $1,000 back. So I'm like, now you telling me that you're not gonna just rob me blind behind my back. What you're gonna do is you're gonna give me back the money and rob me in my face. And okay, I'm supposed to be okay with that. So that was going on and on. It was like, take it or leave it, this, that, or this. So I was like, you know what? No problem. They wanted me to take it and continue to run. I said, all right, I'll take it. I'll continue to run. At this point in my mind, I'm like, you know what? You ain't even gonna win with this company. Just get them little hot $1,000. Haul ass. So when they put the money in my account, right? I had to check when it was deposited, and I seen it was deposited. And they kept calling me. They was like, oh, we gotta get you a load. I'm like, listen, I ain't running no more loads. I quit. I'm like, then now I told them that I quit. So then after I told them I quit, I didn't know what was going on. The bank called me. They were trying to reverse the payment that they put in my bank and take the $1,000 back. So the bank called me, and they like, what's going on? And so I told them what was going on. And so then they suggested I put a stop payment, because mind you, I didn't know anything that was going on. I put a stop payment on. So when that happened, they couldn't get the money. Now they super mad. So now they're going to tell me, they're going to call me and tell me I need to bring the truck back. Mind you, you got to track it on the truck. You can see I'm literally right around the corner. But see, the thing is, I had to use the little bit of fuel I did have to drive back to the company, because I was going to get them a piece of my mind. But all of this was squared away on the way back. And so what happened was, they wanted to put me out on the side with all my belongings. I was like, absolutely no. I am in Chicago. I know I can find a job. My MVR clean. Everything is clean. You ain't gonna leave me high and dry just because you try to rob me. And you still did rob me, but you ain't get the bulk of it. So no, we're not doing that. So I ended up actually applying for another job, and I ended up getting that job in about 3 days. So yes, I was camping out in Super Eagle truck with all my stuff, but it was a low point for me, because I felt so defeated. You understand what I'm saying? Like, how did this even happen? And to be so far away, you can't even use the fuel card and get no gas and go back home, nothing, because they not gonna turn it back on until you're on a load, in which you could have accepted the load and filled up but I just want to avoid them problems, because how far was I gonna get? So anyway, I ended up getting on with this other company, and after I transferred all my things over, then I took their truck back to them, which was like, the whole time I was like 10 minutes away. And then I took their truck back, and then they was like, they tried to say I stole their mattress. Baby, it's not that deep, because I'm gonna tell you, when I was at Prime, I bought a pillow top mattress. It was like $800. That was my mattress, okay? I don't need your mattress. And I took my mattress with me. So they were trying to say I stole their mattress. I never took your mattress. You understand? So I gave them back their truck. Then they was like, well, where you going to go work at now? Like, I'm going to tell you, not your concern. $500, you got your truck, done. It was over with for me. I didn't want to deal with them. And, you know, I mean, everybody else got their experiences with Super Ego, but comment down below if you work for Super Ego. I want to hear about your experience, because everybody said, and they have like the biggest lawsuit, you know, like. But anyways, comment down below if you work for Super Ego. Tell me what your experience was. I am dying to know.